Okay, hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today I wanted to do uh, some test hands for my White Forest Azamina Fiendsmith deck. I took this to locals yesterday and I did really well with it. And unfortunately, I only got second place because in the last round I made a really annoying mistake. I should have done something very different, and it still haunts me. But that's it's just the locals, so we live and learn. And yeah, it was really good, and I think and also my opponent opened like 2 droll in that he was main decking, so like, which I'm not a huge fan of main decking droll, so it's just one of those things where it was just really unfortunate. But yeah, I wanted to do some test hands because I think it's really cool to be able to see how someone plays the deck, and I want to show how I play the deck, and hopefully it gives you some tips or ideas, or you can let me know if there's any things that you think I'm doing, shall we say, subpar. And it's always good to learn. So we got, ooh, this is not looking great. Okay, I'm gonna put this down here. It is unfortunately very much a glare type situation, which is unfortunate. Hopefully that's not too bad. Yeah. So yeah, this is not the greatest hand, but it's definitely, it can play. And even if you get stopped on your LZ, you will still have some plays. But we're going to basically pretend that we're not going to get interrupted with anything. But when doing test hands, it's also good to practice pretending that, you do get interrupted at the points where it does hurt. So that's always an important thing, because you're not going to do full combo every single time. So, but for this, we're going to do LZ sending the imperm, and we're going to search for a Sylvie, which is our best normal summon. We're going to go normal summon Sylvie and activate Sylvie's effect to search. In this case, we already have the LZ Azamina of the White Forest, so I think here we're just going to search for a bit of interruption. And what I like to do in this situation is get woes, because if I don't know what my opponent's on, I don't know if they're on Nibiru or not. They could have Nibiru mixed with some other hand traps. So woes is something that I know is pretty much almost always going to be live, because even if they nib me, I can just use a Sylvie on my opponent's turn. Then we're going to synchro into our oh god, what's it called? Our Ciela, and use the effect sending the woes. Here we can do a couple things. We can get I think we can get I think Scourge. I don't think we're, so basically our two options here are probably to get Scourge or to get the Rusia. And I think this is just going to be better value for us right now. Then Woe's effect is set. Then we're going to activate the effect of the LZ Azamina special. And then we're going to synchro to Diabel. And we're going to go Chainlink 1, the LZ Azamina, Chainlink 2, target the imperm we sent to add back to our hands, which is always a really nice thing to be able to do. So we're going to search for a wanted, and then we're going to activate wanted, and we're going to get Diabel Star. So basically right now, like, the only thing that I have to think about is like, what do I want to discard or send off of Diabel Star? And depending on if I think my spell and trap zone is going to be full, I don't know. If I'm playing against, actually, I don't know, because I think in last format when Tempai was around, like, I'd probably get rid of the imperm, because, Or actually, I don't know. I mean, I might get rid of, there's merits to getting rid of both, but at the very, at the end of the day, like, you know, there isn't any deck in the format that's just running a bunch of like Raigekis and stuff anymore. So I'll choose the Veiler and I'll use the effect to set. Apologies if my voice is still kind of bleh. I'm still a little sick. Hopefully it's not too big of an issue. And so we're going to set the Deception. Then we're going to activate Deception, and then we're going to use its effect, treating the Diabell Star. Then we're going to summon, or not summon, search the Hollowed Azamina. We already did Wanted, didn't we? So at this point, we're going to go for Hollowed Azamina, and we're going to send the Deception, and we're going to summon... Probably at this point we'll summon this Murcielago, and then use the effect to search, and we're going to search the Sinful Spoils of the White Forest. Then we can go Hollowed, add back to our hands by shuffling back the this little guy, or I say little guy, they're a little girl, I guess, the Azamina Elzette. And then I'm just going to go and use Hollowed again. We're not going to use the effects of Sinful Spoils for this combo. It is a situational card, and we're going to summon out the Ilia Sylvia. Now at this point, I want to get the Fiendsmith stuff out of my deck before I start like using effects to draw cards. So we're going to go with Sylvie to summon back, putting back this. In Master Duel, you could make a Baron with this, which unfortunately you cannot anymore. But you know, it is what it is. You can also make a Light and Dark Chaos Angel with this, which is really nice. But we are going to go into Moon of the Closed Heaven, and then we're immediately going to go into Requiem effect. You know, this is the Fiendsmith stuff you've seen time and time again. We're going to summon Lacrima. Lacrima will dump an Engraver. I'm not playing Fiendsmith in Paradise, so like you don't really need to worry about your what cards you're shuffling back with the Engraver package. So, you know, we're just going to shuffle back the Closed Moon to get back out the the Engraver, and then we are going to go into a Link for the Sequence common that I finally have a copy of, and we are going to use the effect. We're going to put back these three, the Lacrima, the Engraver, and the Requiem, and we're going to summon out the Desiree. Now, okay, here's something that I think is cool that you can do. So at this situation, it's not really that advantageous in my opinion to do this, but something you can do is if you had another body. So for example here, right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the effect to equip, and then I'm going to set my stuff and pass. But what you possibly can do is go for a play like this, where you go into Bawaki, which is a great new card. And then what we set Woes. And we can go with the effect, discarding the Scourge to banish the Bawaki, to reborn. We can reborn the Desiree, or we can reborn like the Diabell. And then we can use the effect Engrave to equip. And so then this comes back And yeah, and so one thing you can do is you can do that and then set the imperm. Engrave, we still we can go, actually, yeah, we can go wanted, put back the Sinful Spoils trap to draw another card. Oh, we'll put this at the bottom, draw a card. So we're not going to need a Sylvie, so what we can even do is on our opponent's turn, we can do Valaki again, discarding the Sylvie, and reborn the Diabel, or we can use it to pop. So at this point we have Desiree, we have the Ilia Sylvia, we have the woes. If we do decide to pop, we can just use Sylvie to put back the Diabel to summon out, and then use the woes to go into Silvera, and we can do it that way. And then we'll have the oh, I didn't set, oh, that's another thing I forgot. When I sent this off of a Balaki, because it's sent to activate a monster effect, you can also actually set this. So that's actually another important thing to keep in mind. So we'll have that to activate as a negate. After we go Book of Eclipse, we'll have an Imperma Veiler, and then yeah, we can either pop something, or we can bring back Diabel, so we could have like a double Book of Eclipse. Yeah, it's really, really strong. And then in the end phase, we'll also have the Deception to reset. So which will be your fodder for Diabel if you choose to bring it back from the grave. So yeah, that's kind of a combo that you can go with. I'll do one or two more. We'll see. We're only at 12 minutes right now. But yeah, so even with like not a great hand, like that hand would have been rough if we got Ashed on the LZ. We still could have like special summoned the Azamina LZ, and then manually fused with the LZ into like, you could probably have gone into a Murcielago and then search a Wanted, then Wanted into Diabel, and then Diabel. You could probably send like one of your effect failures to summon it, and then do a whole bunch of stuff where you get the Azamina negate, and then you go into your what's it called? You go into your Fiendsmith combo too, so you'll have both of those, which, you know, means you don't have your White Force stuff in circulation, but you know, that's stuff you could do. But yeah, okay, let's go for another test hand. So we have Lacrima, Talents, Imperm, Engraver, and Imperm. So this is going to be like a subpar hand for sure, but it's definitely something that we can play with. So what we could do is we could go Engraver effect to search. If we get Ashed, this is kind of one of the times where we kind of want to get Ashed, then we could go Tactics to draw 2, which would have been actually terrible. But yeah, at this point, this is just going to be full Fiendsmith combo. But you know, actually, you know, I'm gonna play it out because there's a little more that we can do. We get Tracked. We'll go Tracked. We'll get the Fabled Lurry and discard it, and then Lurry to summon. Then we'll go for, where is it? Requiem effect. Want to get the most out of our plays. So yeah, we're gonna go for an Engraver. I am only playing it at 2 in this deck, so it's something to keep in mind. your count for that. Let's see here. Okay, I think here we're gonna go with Engraver to put back the Fiendsmith, or not the Fiendsmith. Well, it might as well be called Fiendsmith Lurie at this point. To summon this, then maybe I might be doing this wrong. Actually, wait, yeah. Let me redo that. So, just trying to think of the best way to do this where we can get the extra value off of Lacrima in our hand. Maybe we don't. Yeah, maybe we don't even need it. So we can just go normal summon here. And then we go into our sequence. And then we go sequence effects, put back 3 for the Desiree. It's always good to like make sure that these odd hands that you do, that you play them out to the best of, your ability, because it's oftentimes like, anyone can memorize like a combo, like some crazy cool combo that, uninterrupted just wins you the game. That would be the case for many decks, but these weird hands are good things to learn how to play with. Then we're gonna go Fiendsmith, put this back. And then we can go into the Balaki. And then we can go Balaki. If we haven't been interacted with at this point, I'd probably just send the talents. They could have an Ibiru. It's possible. It's like, it would kind of suck, but you either send an Imperm and you have a way to play around the nib a little bit, or you just have you have the maximum interruptions for your opponent. So at this point, we're just going to get rid of this. We're going to banish, bring back the Desiree. We're going to equip the sequence, set 2 cards, and then actually, that's actually probably a good idea. Thinking about that, we should actually probably keep this in hand, because we might as well have something that we want to discard off of the Balaki, because this is going to come back in end phase, and like there's no point in holding on to like an Imperm. It seems a little reductionist, so this is a bit safer. So we have the Balaki, we have the triple tactics, and we have a Desiree. So and an Imperm. So yeah, this is definitely not the best combo that you can do with this deck, but that's gonna happen sometimes. And the top deck for that is gonna be my one other Engraver and then another Imperm. So yeah, a little unfortunate, but we're gonna do one more test hand here, and I'll show you what we can do. Playing the Fiendsmith stuff in this deck is like makes the really awkward stuff a lot better, because it means that you can basically just what was I saying? You can basically just, like, if you get interrupted at a weird way and you just have 2 bodies, you can just go Engraver combo and just end on something. Here we have Droll, Imperm, Rusia, Tails, and Tract. Currently my Molcharmi Fuloses are being borrowed by a friend, so I put Drolls in here. But honestly, like, if you can't afford the Fuloses, Drolls I think are a really not half bad thing to play. Like, they're not going to like completely stop all your opponents, but what they can do is they can like reduce, especially against Ryzeal, they can reduce the power level of their combos by a decent amount. And if my opponent goes like Bonfire and we go like Droll, our opponent will have like a Detonator, which will have an imperm for. So like if they do play like the X Ryzeal, to get like to not even have the search, but they put the Eclipse Twins in the graveyard just for that, which I don't think would be the best thing for them to do. But if they don't do that, then an imperm will just, you know, end their turn, like stop their board, because they're probably just going to go Detonator pass, and then we draw for turn. We draw. So actually it doesn't even matter. If they send the Eclipse Twins, we're going to draw this. So we go imperm target, they pop themselves, Eclipse Twins, bring it back, we imperm it again, and then we just have White Forest combo plus Fiendsmith combo. So yeah, to play this out, this is a little more of a weird line. Unfortunately, Tails only works with illusions and spellcasters, not fiends. There are a number of other cards with the White Forests, cards that work with fiends, but unfortunately Tails does not. So what I'd probably do is I'd use my normal summon here for Tails. It's a really difficult one. I think I'd probably actually, you know what? I think before we do that, I think we're actually going to go with the Tract, because if we get hit with a Droll of our own, this is going to be the best way of playing through that. So we're going to search for Lurie, discard Lurie, summon Lurie. Then if they don't have a Droll there, because our Fiendsmith stuff, we're not playing the Caesar package, so we're not playing a way to get through our we're not playing a way to get through Nibiru through our Fiendsmith stuff. Unfortunately, in the White Forest deck, there's just not enough room. I might try and fit it in, but I need to fit in a Necroquip and a Caesar, which is really difficult to do, I think. So, you know, we'll see. We'll definitely see if I can slot that in. But I think for now, we're going to go normal this effect to draw a card. Going to get value out of that. We get another hand trap, which is really good. Tails effect to set. Then we're going to activate Tails. Honestly, what's the most ideal situation here is kind of tough if we go with our Fiendsmith line first. So we'll get the Azamina LZ. Or sorry, this LZ. So I think here, actually, you know, I think I'm going to go into Requiem first, because here, if they go Nib, we can just tribute it out to summon a Engraver, which we can then use to just play through Nib. We'll go effect of LZ, sending the Imperm to summon, and then search for the Azamina LZ. See, this is why like Azamina LZ is just by far the, you know, it's by far best at just a one of, in my opinion. I think that it doesn't do anything on its own. It's nice to have as an extender if you get stopped, but it's like really not a common occurrence that you really have. So it's a little unfortunate, but so we're not going to get the extra search off of well, okay, here's the thing. Actually, well, I don't remember exactly how this was, but here's the thing. If we're not worrying about Nib, we could go the effect of Requiem into Engraver, or into Lacrima, send Engraver, and then put this back in the spell and trap zone, and then go into our synchro plays to send the Requiem that's equipped. But that plays a lot more into Nib. So honestly, like just playing around Nib, being a lot more careful of it, respecting it a little more, I think is the best thing to do here. We'll go with the Arciela, no effect. Use the effects of Azamina LZ. And also we can put this back later and just summon it again if we really want to search for it. So we'll go into Diabell effects, or Azamina effect, Chainlink 1, Diabell, Chainlink 2. We'll get back to Imperm because that's just by far the most value we can get right now. Excuse me. We're going to grab Wanted off of the Azamina set. We're going to activate it. Search out the Diabell, or Diabell Star. Here, I am going to use Requiem effect to get the most out of, most value out of our cards. Gonna go Lacrima effect, dump another engraver, or a regular engraver. And then we're going to go Requiem, equip to Lacrima, and then we're going to send the Requiem for the Black Witch, and then we're going to use the effect, set the Deception, then activate Deception, tribute the Deception, or tribute the Diabell Star, search for the Hollowed Azamina, let's see, it's at the very top there. Then we can go Hollowed, send this to summon the Mu Arcielago, use the Mu Arcielago effect. We can search for Sinful Spoils of the White Forests. We can then add back the Hollowed Azamina by putting back this. Putting back the Elza Azamina of the White Forest. And then right here, we threaten the Omni Negate. So they basically have to have Nib and Imperm to... if they don't stop us here, when I activate this, they have to have like a lot of interruptions because we're just going to go into our Omni, so we'll be protected from a Nib. They could just Nib before here. If they Nib at this spot, this all gets tributed and we'll summon out the Ilia Sylvia, and then we can Engraver, summon that back. We can use the Rusia, which we haven't used yet, summon that back too, and keep playing. So, you know, we're definitely not, you know, just screwed if they nib us there. So let's see, at this point I've added that back. We can probably go Wanted, put back the Sinful Spoils to draw a card. Card's going crazy. To draw a card and get another Imperm. That's kind of funny. And then, you know, we still have our Engraver engraved to, you know, to play with. We have a lot of actual, you know, options. But I think what I want to do here is, depending on what our opponent's playing, we can also go for... Yeah, I think we're going to go for a Dweller play as well as Desiree. So we're going to summon out the Rusia by putting back the Arciela. And then we're going to use the Lacrima and the... what's it called? For an Abyss Dweller. We still have one to... put that back. We will need to use the... Yeah, we will need to use the Abyss Dweller on our turn still, unfortunately, but so yeah, we can go effective Abyss Dweller. Then we can go effects, put this back, put Lacrima back, or summon out that, put Lacrima back, then use these two to go into our sequence, and then sequence effect for 1, 2, 3. I won't bother with shuffling right now because I'm not going to do any more drawing. So we put this here. You can also put an attack, whatever. Effect to equip. Set to imperms. And then we'll have the deception to be set in the end phase. And yeah, and so that's going to be the play. That's obviously through, no interruptions, but we have 2 imperms, a Veiler, a Droll, along with a Diabels, or not Diabel, sorry, a Diabel. We'll have the Abyss Dweller for opponent's turn. You really only need it for 1 turn, so it's okay to use it on your turn in this case. You have the Omnigate, Ilia Sylvia. Yeah, you're just, you're super set here. So yeah, that's the those are some test hands. It's also really good, like, I've said it before, I've said it again. When you're doing test hands, make sure you practice like getting hand trapped in really awkward spots, and seeing how you play through it. It's really good practice because you're not going to go to a locals, and you're especially not going to go to a regional or a YCS and just be able to just go, oh, I'm just going to go full combo, and if I get ashed once, I'm gonna cry or whatever, So yeah, that's the deck. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you have any comments or questions, make sure to leave them in the comment section for me. And yeah, I look forward to getting back to you and talking about this deck some more. I absolutely love this deck, and I think this is a really solid way and probably the most competitive way to play this deck at the moment. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. We're at the 32-minute mark now. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed, and I will catch you in the next one. Peace.